movies, TVs, blogs, and more. This is Blogger's Corner with Britt and Dr. Bones.
Britt.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of Blogger's Corner on the Dr. Bones Show. And welcome the host with the most, Dr. Bones. How are you doing today, Dr. Bones?
Very well. How about yourself?
I'm hanging in there.
So today I had a bit of a busy morning because I'm officially on vacation for a week now.
Yay!
Which is awesome. And I was going around looking for winter tires because I wasn't sure. I was kind of debating whether I'm going to do all seasons or winter tires. So I was like, I decided to go winter tires because my back two tires, they're pretty bald. So they need to be replaced no matter what. So I was looking around and we got a little bit of snow, not a whole lot. We got about 10 centimeters or so. I'm blanking right now what that is in inches, but it's not a whole lot. So we got that, and of course, I'm really scrambling to get tires, and like I need the back tires anyways that went around, but you know, not in stock. We only have 2 in stock. I was like, well, I need all 4. So finally, I found a place, and like, well, we got these 4 winter tires in stock. It's like awesome. Do you want to do it today? Well, it depends. How long's the wait? 6 hours. 6 hours. It's like, no, you know what? I'll come in first thing Monday morning. How's that? Oh, that sounds good. All right, let's do that.
All worked out.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I wasn't about to wait 6 hours. It needed to be done, but not that badly. Because, I mean, if we got hammered like Buffalo did, then we need them. Buffalo just got slammed. And for a grand total of 180 centimeters, which is going to be at least a few feet of snow, maybe more.
Ooh.
Yeah, they got hammered pretty good. And kind of feel bad because that was actually supposed to hit the London area. It didn't. Kind of skated right by us and head straight for Buffalo, New York. So.
Wow, would you guys have been landlocked, like not been able to leave the house?
From what they showed, yeah, I mean, the city was on shutdown. They call it state of emergency.
Wow.
So that's a lot of snow. I mean, we got a lot of snow like that about 4 years ago, and it was bad. I mean, it was one of those things, you know, as soon as you clear, it piles right back up again, so it was hard to keep on top of, but we still managed to get to work back and forth, no problem. I mean, we had to leave a little bit earlier, but, you know, still got there. Surprisingly, my little Focus is a tank, so, and thankfully didn't get stuck, but yeah, it's possibly pretty much you don't want to leave the house unless you have to, because almost everywhere is shut down anyways, so, you know, if you leave, you're not really going to go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, that was my kind of fun little irritating morning, so... But at least it's going to be done Monday anyway, so now I'm going to shut up about that stuff, and let's get into Flash and Arrow. I'm going to go to Arrow first because I'm caught up. I caught up on the week before and this week's. So, getting better. They're still dealing with these flashbacks, and of course now they've introduced this new character, Cupid, who is a few fries short of a Happy Meal for sure. And so, I mean, I know it's kind of the point of this Cupid character, but wow, I mean, I'm sure that the actress has been in other things, but she plays that psycho role very well. I mean, she's got me convinced that you know, like I wouldn't even want to go anywhere near her just because, like, you know, the wrong thing could set her off.
Exactly.
So that was interesting. Obviously, now they're playing up the Felicity and her boss thing. So, because we saw that, and of course, he wants her to come with him to that dinner, but it's pretty platonic, yada, 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 no. But despite that fact, he rents a $10 million diamond necklace and apparently a very expensive night dress, just for me to sit down in a restaurant, you know? So, initially, I was kind of thinking, like, maybe it would be a bit bigger place, maybe some of a gala, but no, I was like, okay, it's a little bit over the top, and now, I mean, it's like, don't get me wrong, I like Felicity, but it seems like they're trying to sell her a lot more now.
Yeah.
And between him, I think was kind of, I mean, you saw this coming though, like when Diggle was talking to Arrow and talking to Oliver, saying, no, you gotta tell her how you feel. She heard that conversation between you and Cupid, how you gotta have to be alone, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, but oh no. And then, of course, he goes, and as soon as he shows up, guess who's kissing? Huh, surprise, surprise. So they're like really pushing her lately. Not necessarily a bad thing, but now she's got like 3 guys on the go. She has Barry, her boss, and Oliver.
Go girl.
Well, exactly. Yeah, it looks so exactly. So I was like, I mean, and that's fine, but they gotta kind of not tied up, but just kind of just sidetrack away from it because it's kind of distracting from the point, and it's kind of getting cheesy now. And then this whole thing with Thea and her club, and this kind of really obnoxious guy saying, "No, I can do a good DJ job," blah blah blah. And then of course, she doesn't go with him because being a, and then to go to the club, and then you got the DJ going. He's like, "Oh, I'll help you out." It's like, oh boy, here we go. It just. I mean, I know they're trying to get a love interest, but come on, like it's getting a little a little too cheesy even for me. It's gonna. But between both episodes, I think I liked the part the most. How, remember I told you that they had pretty much had the. I'm sorry, I can't remember Felicity's boss's name right off the top of my head right now, but. Ray Palmer. But you can see now, remember I told you last week, there's possibly going to be Captain Adam, and you see him pull up his electronic form of his uniform or his costume.
Yes.
So that's obviously going to happen, and it looks like too that they might be bringing in Katana soon.
Mm-hmm.
So, and at first I thought it might be the guy's wife during the flashback in Hong Kong right now. So I'm not sure it's gonna be her because do you remember episodes ago where they had the character and she had like white hair?
Oh yes.
But if you compare the pictures, it's not. I don't think it's the same person.
Okay.
So I think it's gonna be a woman named I think her name is Maggie P or something like that, or Maggie Q.
Oh really?
Anyways, she was did a lot of martial arts movies, and she does all her own stunts, and she was trained by Jackie Chan.
Neat.
So she's probably gonna be Katana, which means some of the stunts might be not over the top, but a lot better because she can do them all pretty much.
Yes, I've seen her work.
Right. So if they bring her in, because I mean she's been in a couple of Jackie Chan movies as well, and I think she was in Rush Hour 2, if I'm correct.
I believe she was, and she was on the show Nikita, which was also on the CW.
Right. So there you go. So we got a high class actress who's a great martial artist and can do her own stunts. And she's lucky because she's got one of those all-in-one packages. Before, and I call it the good old days of movies and acting. You had to be able to sing and act and dance literally the whole, for lack of better words, the whole song and dance.
Exactly. Triple threat.
Exactly. So with her, she's a good-looking woman. She does her own stunts, and she's a very good martial artist. And she's not a bad actress at all. She's got everything working for her. Because just because you can do stunts and stuff like that doesn't necessarily mean you're a great actor.
It's very true. And that's been one of the big problems with having action stars is you kind of have to pick your poison, which angle you really want to see them play up. But she is a hybrid. She's very gifted. I've definitely enjoyed a lot of her works in her movies.
So it's kind of like speaking of like action heroes. One of the first one that comes to mind is Schwarzenegger, right? Because he's an all right actor. He's not fantastic. He's not horrible, but pretty much what helps him out is just a whole bunch of like one-liners and like in so many movies, right? And that's what people remember, makes them laugh, So now I can think of 4 or 5 on the top of my head, like a couple of the Terminator movies, and of course the I'll Be Back, or I need you to close your boots in your motorcycle, right? So there's that, and then what was that one where it was like a lab experiment and it gets pregnant? I'm pregnant. Or like, who told you get my cookies? and just stuff like that, or twins. This is my brother Julius. That so just like
he's very funny.
Yeah, just a bunch of one-liners that kind of work well for him. So I just brought that up because there's so many Schwarzenegger one-liners. So we could go on and on. It's not a tumor at all. I have a headache. Or like one of my favorites. One more Schwarzenegger line from Kindergarten Cop, and this is one of my favorites. When there's that kid eating all the lunches, and he's like, "You eating all these lunches? Stop it!" And he's like shaking the kid, And
I love that movie.
So she's got the whole package, so it's gonna be pretty good. I'm not sure exactly when Katana's gonna be brought in, or hopefully soon, because it looks like obviously at this time they're developing Captain Adam first, but with that being said, I'm sure Katana won't be too far behind because they can kind of develop two characters at the same time. I'm just not sure how they're going to do Katana. Like I don't really have a solid idea or give a metric guess of how they're going to work her in. But I'm assuming it's probably going to be in a flashback, and then they'll show her in present day.
A very good point. And it would bring a point to why we're having to sit through these flashbacks. Not that I mind, the storyline is a lot better than the thing on the island. That was absolutely painstakingly horrible.
Yeah.
So this is a little more fun. But I'm curious to see how they work her in as well. And then developing or revealing that Ray Palmer is a villain. I do like him as the suave, sweet guy who's romancing Felicity. I think that's sweet. I mean, honestly, Oliver hasn't done any romance. He hasn't romanced Felicity at all. He basically just assumes that, why wouldn't she want me? I'm the Arrow. Well, maybe she doesn't, dude. She's pretty super in her own right.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is too is like, I mean, like it's just he seems so like he seems almost heartbroken. It's like, man, like which woman haven't you slept with? You know, so, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, I totally know what you mean. He's so fickle. I mean, it really. This person was the love of your life last week. This week, it really doesn't mean anything. He hasn't really proven that Felicity is above and beyond all these other women that he slept with. So I don't really see it in terms of from his side. I see Felicity kind of being in awe of him, and I definitely feel from her that she likes him, but he kind of runs cold. So that's why this whole thing where he's attracted to her kind of came out of nowhere, because the actor really doesn't convey that he's odd or, interested in Felicity at all. That's something I do enjoy about the way Ray Palmer acts. She's special. He lets her know that he cares. I'm really hoping that if he turns out to be a villain, he's the villain with a good side, because I really do like him and Felicity together. And I think he's a good nemesis for Arrow, even though they haven't really gotten into it, which is weird. Oliver doesn't even care about his company anymore. He is a lot more ambitious.
No, good point. So, Arrow is finally getting a little better. And, I just like that, some of the action scenes are getting better. And, I mean, obviously there was a whole thing with Cupid when, pretty much, she goes after him, and he's like, no, like, we're not lovers, blah, blah, blah. And then they end up on the train tracks, and she handcuffs the train tracks, and he pretty much dislocates its hand, and then saves her. She's like, I knew we were meant together. It's like, oh, come on. So, classic
stalker.
Yeah, so I wasn't at all impressed with that. So I was like, okay, well, and now she's with Waller, so, and from what they were saying, like, I think she'll be in the League of Assassins.
Definitely be a part of that. So I'll definitely probably see her pop up again. If she does pop back again, hopefully she can accidentally get rid of the new DJ at Thea's Club who was grating. I mean, he was so awful. And then the thing that killed me about it was they were talking. They come back. She's like, "No, you can't have the job." And then this other DJ's playing music that, quite frankly, sounds like every the stuff you hear in clubs. I guess I don't go clubbing, but what I hear in the movies. And she's like, "Oh my God, it's so awful." And then here he comes in. And he's like, "Girl, I can turn these amazing tunes around." And he plays what's the number one club song on the top 40. Why would anyone with half a brain DJ know how to do that? I mean, really, what was so special about that? I'm lost.
No, fair enough. Like, I mean, I was impressed. I mean, of course, I'm not watching it to see what kind of DJ abilities this guy has, or even I really don't care about Thea's Club period. But I think they're just wasting this time until they can bring Merlin back in for something.
Where is he? I don't understand. Like, why if they've got him available. I don't know if John Barrowman has other commitments, but I would rather see Malcolm Merlin than I would see this snotty ass kid walking around talking about what an amazing DJ he is. Yeah,
I know. I'm not down with that character at all. So I hope they develop him out the door. So.
Me too.
So anyway, no, it's getting better. So I think the flashbacks are almost done. Thank God.
I hope so.
Because I don't know how many more I can handle, but so like, yeah, we'll hopefully get better, because there's one more episode before the mid-season break.
I believe so, and then they're going to come back on December 2nd for the Flash versus Arrow, which I'm confused on how that's going to work because I don't know. And